Hey there guys, Steve here from Coils and Coins Detecting, and welcome to another video. Today we're out in the bush, not that far from the city, to the ruins of an old house. And I've been here a couple of times before. Each time I've been here I've found something interesting, so I thought I'd come back today, have another look around, see if I can find something. I've got the Manticore today. Every other time I've been here I've had the Equinox, so wondering if the Manticore might show up a few interesting targets that I didn't dig with the Equinox. So we'll see what happens. Really nice. We're into spring now in Tassie, so the weather's starting to settle down. It's a beautiful day. So let's get out there, see what we can find, get the gear fired up, and I'll come back when I get the first good target. See you soon. Alright, so we've got our first interesting item. It's an old relic from this site. Sounded like that on the Manticore, just above the non-ferrous line, but a nice repeatable target, and I could tell it was big. But then I dug it out. Check this out. Can you recognise the shape of that? It's an old iron. A really old one you'd heat up on the fire or on the pot-belly stove or what have you, and yeah, you'd iron your clothes with it. It's got some writing on it. Brand name, I'd say. I'll give it a scrub with a brush, see if we can get any more info out of it. That's a nice old one. I can't make out too much information, but I think that's got a capital K down the bottom, and maybe it's got 100 across it there, or 200, something like that, but I don't know what brand that is. But age-wise, I'm going to guess that's early 1900s. Possibly later, but yeah, around that sort of age. Awesome. Okay, let's keep looking, see if we can find something a bit smaller. Target there, it's about a 48, 49. It's not right on the non-ferrous line, but it's quite close to it. It is repeatable, so I guess we should check that out. There's a lot of tree roots here, so it's a bit tricky. Very deep. It was a nail, but I don't think that's what we're hearing. Okay, with that nail gone, I'll just show you the target's changed a bit now. So now it's pretty much on the non-ferrous line, and it's a low 50s. So removing that nail did have an effect, it seems. Okay, well it's this. It's circular, but it's not a coin, that's for sure. Way too small. It looks like a stud. So I think it's going to be a stud out of some leather work, something like that, a rivet, I should say. Something along those lines anyway. But that was interesting how the target ID changed. So that's why anything that's kind of near the non-ferrous line, I'm going to check it out just in case there's other things near it masking it. Okay, that's good. Let's keep going. Another target here that's on the non-ferrous line. It's pretty much bang on 40, which is about a 16 for Equinox users. It's around about there somewhere. Anything on that non-ferrous line, definitely going to check it, because there are a lot of small objects, and I have found a few coins. Often they've been masked or had iron right next to them, so they've had nails and things right next to them, so they haven't sounded all that great. But that sounds quite definite. Could be lead or something, don't know. What's out? It's circular. A washer, a lead washer. Yeah, I've found a few of these here too. And unfortunately they sound okay, and they're not iron, so they ring up right on the non-ferrous line, but that's just a bent over lead washer. Okay, and they're about a 40, it seems. Let's keep looking. Well, this is obviously a pretty active site. Lots of stuff going on around this place for a good part of 120 years. I found a file, an old metal file. It's fairly badly corroded away, but definitely that's definitely what it is. So I found a few more items to do with the activities that went on around this house. There's obviously a bit of work being going on. We're filing down metal or making things, because back then you had to make a lot of stuff yourself. You couldn't just whip down the shop and buy it. So you had to be inventive and pretty good with your hands. Now let's keep seeing what else we can find. Sometimes you got to do a bit of yard work. So I just dragged these trees out of the way so I could get to an area underneath them. There wasn't anything over there, but there is something here somewhere. I've got a pretty definite signal. Where'd it go? It's a 70s signal, not deep. 77. Bang on. Bang on the non-ferrous line. I've got high hopes for this one. High 70s, could definitely be a coin. Could be a half penny. Could be a penny. Could be silver. Could be a relic. Ready? Nothing yet. Where are you? Just down in there. Fingers crossed for a coin. It'd be lovely to have a coin. Ah, it is a coin too. It sounded booming, didn't it? Here it is. Let's get this out. Looks like a penny. Looks like an old one. That really hit hard on the Manticore. Almost sounded like rubbish. That is a penny. It looks like I can definitely see Britannia. Let's give it a bit of a scratch on the trousers. Or clean up on the trousers at least. Let's turn the pinpointer off. Awesome. Really happy that it found a coin. I thought there might be more here. This site's turned up about probably 7 or 8 coins. Only one silver. And I think the oldest coin might have been 1890s or thereabouts. Oh no, fooled me. I thought I saw Britannia. I didn't. I saw a kangaroo. 1938 kangaroo penny. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. That's okay. We'll still take it every time. So that's going to be George V, I think. Can't quite make out George. Certainly a bit hard to see on that side, but that side's not so bad. Cool. All right, 1938 kangaroo penny. Let's see what else we can find around here. I'm sure there are going to be more coins. Actually, George the 6th, not George the 5th. I'm a little bit out with the dates. Only a couple of years past George the 5th, but George the 6th penny. Cool. Well, I've got a really choppy signal just here, but I'm interested because it's hitting low 90s. That could be falsing iron. If we turn the horseshoe on, or metal, can hear an iron grunt there too. So it's probably iron, but it's kind of interesting. You can make some educated guesses, but I think at the end of the day, if you've got any doubt at all or any suspicion that it might be something worth digging, then you just dig it, because otherwise you're going to miss good stuff. I don't think there's anything in the plug. Maybe there is. I think it's down here, whatever it is. This is what it is. Oh, that's kind of interesting shape. Don't know what that is. A mystery find. Well, couldn't say for sure what that is. It's a thing off, or what's it? I'll hit it with a brush, see if we can make out any more detail, but that's unusual. Well, I've no idea what that is. It's an odd shape. It's definitely, well, it's partially iron, if not totally iron, because you can see it's rusting there. But it's still in one piece, so maybe it's some kind of alloy or something. Don't know what it is though. Mystery find number 1. Up against the bank where the old house used to be, got a 42. Seems like it could be worth looking at. It's right on the non-ferrous. Not overly big. So that's like a 16 on the Equinox. 16, 17. Could it be a coin? Probably not. I can't see a coin. Ah, it's this. It's a little brass piece which looks to be, it's got 3 holes in it, so it's attached to something. Maybe it's a clock part. It's got a little pin there as well. Not 100% sure. Could be part of a clock mechanism. Something along those lines maybe. Okay. So there's one here that warrants digging, I think. So what I'm looking for is repeatable, somewhere near the non-ferrous line in my discriminated area, above my discriminated area. So I'm discriminating out everything below 40, actually 35 I think. So 15, 16 on the Equinox and above, equivalent. We've got a target here that's 52, and it's mostly on the non-ferrous line, so I'm going to check that out for sure. Oh, we've got a coin, guys. I think we've got a coin. So what was it, 50? I wonder what that can be. It's small. Almost looks like a $1 coin. I don't think so, it's a halfpenny. It's a halfpenny. Excellent. Well, there you go. Now it's rung up. It's rung up low, mid-50s. That is around, what's that, around 19 I think on the Equinox. Sounds better now, right? And looks better too. Mid-50s, that's like a 1920 sort of target. That's a halfpenny. And what can I see? I can see, oh, it's an older one. I think that's Edward the 7th. I always get this guy wrong. For some reason I always get him wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's Edward the 7th, and if it is, it's going to be dated around, what's 1901 through to about 1910, I think, from memory. Alright, let's clean it off, see how we go. Awesome. Okay, so that's a cracking little coin, absolute ripper. So that definitely is Edward the 7th. The date, I can't quite make it out, but it's definitely, you can see there it's a Britannia. Down the bottom is the date. I think it's 1902 or 3, but I'll need to clean that up more to get that date right. But I will put that in the subtitles there on the screen once I work out what it is. That is an absolute belter of a coin. Really good condition on the head side of the coin. So Edward the 7th, halfpenny. The writing around the coin, loosely translated, is Edward the 7th. By the grace of God, it's King of all the Britons, and Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. 1903, I think. That's a cracking little coin. Really happy with that one. Okay, for those of you who are interested, I'm going to show you my settings. So I'm just running in all-terrain general and 0 ground balance. Recovery speed is 7. Now most of the targets here are shallow, within say 3 inches, 4 inches, and there's a lot of rubbish here, so I need a high recovery speed. I'm not really worried about depth. Discrimination pattern, I've discriminated 35 and below out at this point. I'm just cherry picking a little bit. ferrous limits and all that stuff, pretty much the same, but I have got some custom target tones. 5 regional tones. I've stepped the audio, so I've made it sound a bit like the Equinox, at least the way I used to set up the Equinox for the various target ID segments. So I've done a video on this. I'll put a link up the top corner. You can go and see how I set this up, but this to me sounds a bit more like the Equinox, which is what I'm more used to. So I thought I'd just try that. And sensitivity is 18. Again, don't need a lot of depth, but there is a bit of interference around here, so I can't run it much higher without getting a lot of noise, a lot of chirping. And so there's not much point trying to crank up the power of this machine, because it's just going to be annoying. And I'm not going to find anything extra, I don't think, because it's nothing really that deep. So there you go. Doing okay. Found a couple of coins, a few relics. Going to go for about another hour, see if we can turn up a bit more. Let's go. So this is one of those questionable ones. It's repeatable, it's low 50s. It's just touching the non-ferrous line, but again, that could be because it's being influenced by something else near it. So I'm going to dig that one. Try not to disturb this tulip too much. You will find a lot at these old sites there are tulips, lilies and such, bulbs, a lot of bulbs. They're really quite pretty. And it's a surefire way, if you're looking for an old house site, to know that you found it. If you start seeing these, you know you're close. Okay. There's something over in that direction there by the look of it. It could be a coin, there's a possibility. You just don't know. It's out, it's kind of round. Okay, it's another lead thing. Yeah, lead nail cap or something, but you know, that's a good target for the detector to be hitting on, because they're round and they're not iron. So that was just below the ferrous line. It's still worthwhile. Could have been something good. Not unhappy with that at all. Nice little cheeky one here. About a 66, 67. Nice repeatable target. It's about a 21 on the Equinox. If you're wondering why I keep referring back to the Equinox, well, it's just the machine I've come from. I know that machine very well, so it just helps in my mind to kind of work out where it sits in numbers wise. Yeah, but that's 60, mid 60s. Could well be a coin. It's not deep. Okay, it's right there. Fingers crossed for a coin to pop out. Let's go. Didn't see one. No. Not a coin, but it's something mildly interesting. What on earth is that? First impressions, part off a toy. Looks like a wheel off a toy, but don't know. It's small and round. That's why it sounded good. Give it a quick brush to see if it comes up any better. Well, after a bit of a brush, I can see that it's coloured. It's red and green. I'm going to say that's off a toy car or a plane or a train or something like that. Cool. Another relic from when people were actively living here. Let's keep going a little bit longer. Well, that's going to do us today, guys. Pretty happy with that dig. Only a couple of coins, but at sites like this, a coin is a win. Any kind of coin at all, I reckon. So we did pretty well. That Edward VII halfpenny was awesome. Really happy with that one. So yeah, we'll try another spot. I think I've done this spot pretty thoroughly now, although I've really done probably one side of it really well, the other side not so well because it's really thick and hard to get into, so probably won't worry about that side too much. But there are other sites we can check out, so we'll go for now. Thanks for joining us. Happy hunting, all the best, and hope you picked up something today with the Manticore. That Edward VII halfpenny was a tricky little target, as you saw, and maybe those settings I used might help you out there. So if you liked the video, please give it a like. and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next video. All the best. See you next time.